Prof. Adi, mic is yours.
Thank you, Nadia. Thank you, Nadia. We are about to start the webinar, but I would like to share with you a bio of our presenter. Professor Adi had his PhD in pharmaceutical technology from Cardiff University, United Kingdom. Currently, he is the Dean of School of Environment Studies at Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. He was also the inaugurating Dean of Faculty of Health Sciences at American University of Madaba, Jordan. Also, he was the Dean of Faculty of Pharmacy at Philadelphia University, USA. So welcome all. Let's welcome all, Prof. Adi, and good luck.
Thank you so much, dear Mrs. Ragad and Mrs. Nadia, for the nice introduction. I hope my voice is loud and clear to all.
Prof.
Yes, Prof. All good.
Very
Loud and clear.
Now it's loading. I can't hear. It's loading. Hello?
Hello, we were unable to hear the voice.
Prof. Adi? Prof. Adi? عم تسمعنا؟
I think he has a problem in the
In
connection.
his mic,
I think.
yeah. Just a second.
Decision is
Okay.
already start or not yet?
No, the presentation of Prof. Adi did not start yet. Just a few seconds and we will start.
How can we confirm our registration?
Again, sorry, your voice is not clear.
Maybe the prof is muting the speaker. Maybe the prof is muting the speakers.
No, his speaker is not mute. Just give us a second, please. Thank you so much
Yes,
for waiting.
we are waiting. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, sorry for this technical issue.
There is any survey that we are going to complete it later?
Again, sorry.
There is any survey that we are going to do it later?
Survey?
Yes, there will be a survey that
Yes.
we will send one email to all those who actually attended the webinar session for minimum 30 minutes and above. In that email, you will have the recorded session of this webinar. You will have also a link to your certificate, and also you'll have a survey. Please share with us the topics of your interest for our future webinars. We're planning now to do almost like bi-weekly webinars. Share with us your opinion of the current webinar. Share with us also your opinion about upcoming webinar and interest topic, and inshallah we'll be able to do it all and make it happen.
Can I have a question, please?
Yes, please.
The speaker should be a member in the Hamdan University.
So most of our speakers and webinar presenters are they are from Hamdan University, either from our lecturers, part-time or full-time. But definitely, if you're interested to give a webinar with us, please, you may contact Mrs. Asma. She has her contact details in the chat box. Send your information, your interest topic, and topic of your interest, sorry, and we will communicate with you.
Okay, thank you.
So
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you. Prof. Adi, Samir, are we ready?
I'm really sorry. I don't know what went wrong with that. I hope, again, same question. I hope my voice is loud and clear, Nadia and Ragad.
Yes, loud and clear, and also the camera is on, the video is working. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Sorry, I'm really sorry for this disruption. I'll go back quickly to the wellness, where I was saying that in the past, it started in the East and the West, where there was in the past what we call it a clan, al-qabila, and there was, of course, in the old times, they used to live in tents, بالخيام. Usually, they identified the tent of the priest, where it was the largest tent among the clan. Usually, the priest in the old days, he used to have his large tent because he used to bring the items from the forest, from anywhere around, in order to put his things over there to treat the people. In the old days, the priest, he used to have a huge power, simply because the people in any clan, they used to believe that that priest, he has a power to heal from any diseases or any problems, and at the same time, he can make a curse over the people whom they do not like. They used in the past to take the priest with them, they put them in the front lanes, in order when they see the enemies, the priest can send his curse, as they used to believe, by using certain spirits in order they can win the war. However, later on, this was developed slightly in the United States and Europe, and they started to work with what we call it the words of medicines and medications and drugs. That was due, of course, to the variety of intellectual movements, medical research, medical work. Of course, I'm talking in the primary level of research in general. They were working in the past on the human being just for a general, what we call it, whole good being and wellness of the patient. Later on, they started in the 60s and the 70s. There were many thinkers where they started to identify the different diseases, different situations with the patient, where they highlighted certain specialists or certain people or certain physicians to treat only certain areas. That was the start of what we call specialties. In the old days, they used to have what we call it just general doctor. Nowadays, of course, we know there are different specialists in different fields. Now we are in the 21st century. We started to hear the new expressions of nutrition, healthy living, happiness, self-care, any spiritual practices like Tai Chi, like the yoga and the other things. If you want to talk about well-being in general, usually the well-being is a choice, and it is an active practice of activities. When we are talking about wellness, we cannot say that it is a static phase. Wellness, it is something which the human being built it during his life, during his life, excuse me, and the life span. He can, what we call it, the wellness can generate and make an approach, a general approach for reaching a good health within the human being. People nowadays, they are very confused. Actually, they mix sometimes between wellness and health and well-being and happiness. We recently started to hear with these things, especially with the start of the COVID-19, which is irritating most of the world. So what I like to mention is that wellness in general, it is not one way or it's not static. It is related to many and multi-dimensional issues in our life. It is related to your physical activities. It's related to your mental health, emotional, spiritual, social, and environmental issues. So in other words, we are talking about proactive procedure and within the human being in order to receive and get what we call it self-responsibility. In order to identify between wellness and well-being, when we are talking about well-being, on the if we are talking about the well-being over here, well-being, we are talking at the present, what you are doing. And while the well-being at the time being, you have not been granted this being and well-being and happiness unless you have already established what we call it pure wellness. Therefore, the well-being is the current status of what you have been practicing in the past. If we look generally to the numbers, we can see, for example, that in the United States, the average living of a human being over there, I'm talking males and females, is 69 years old. Usually, and statistically speaking, you will live 69 healthy life, and during the last 10 years, you are going to have unhealthy situation, whether you are having diseases, you are having problems in the heart, in the lungs, and whatsoever. But generally speaking, you are going to live 69 years old in the as a healthy, and 10 years, last 10 years. Of course, we know that many people, they may die promptly while they are having a full health situation. But generally speaking, we are talking, according to statistics, usually a human being can face some problems by the end of his life. We can see that in Canada, the lifespan is almost 82 years old. And this is due to the healthy policies and strategies over there. If we're going to talk about the health in general, I'm going to say it in Arabic language. لما تسأل الإنسان كيف صحتك يحكي لك الحمد لله. When you are saying that you are healthy, it means that you are not suffering from any disease or you don't have any debilitating conditions. While if we are talking about wellness, it's not just you are healthy. I'm talking you are healthy as in physics, you are mentally fine, emotionally fine, spiritually fine, and you are living as well in a good environmental situation. That's what we have. So if we can mix all of these 5 items together, you can see that it makes like a rope. If any of those is cut, you will not have what we call it a wellness situation. You might be healthy, but you are not well. Many people that are suffering from stress nowadays due to COVID-19, and this is a major issue. So when we are talking about mentally and emotionally, most of the people over nowadays, they are not, we can say that they are healthy if they are not infected with any disease, but they are not having what we call it the well-being. How can we deal with this COVID-19? And by the way, sometimes people ask me about why do they call it COVID-19? So I just like to share with you that it's called COVID-19. It's a coronavirus disease. And the number 19, it came because COVID was initiated in the year of 2019. That's why they call it COVID-19. So you're going to be amazed with the coming slides to see how your life will be affected. Most of us, we know that say smoking cigarettes or the alcohol are the major problems in the world, but you will be amazed with the statistics with what we are going to see. In order to control yourself, I'm talking now about the wellness to reach the well-being. What do we need to engage? You need to engage in physical activity, sport. You need to eat well. Stress is very important, and you need to avoid what we call them the destructive habits like, say, smoking, drinking alcohol, and poor nutrition. I like to show you this slide. I'm talking nowadays current causes. What are the major causes of death in the United States? And actually, I chose the United States because of the number of the population, so those numbers are indicative. I'm gonna compare the current causes of death, major causes of death. I'm gonna compare 2021 with the year of 1900. يعني تقريبا I'm comparing 100 years difference. Nowadays, most of our problems, major causes of death, heart disease, followed by cancer, respiratory, accidents, strokes, Alzheimer. While in the old, before 100 years old, the heart disease was number 4, if it was identified at that time. By that time, pneumonia was number 1. Tuberculosis, السل أو التدرن الرئوي, الإسهال, it was one of the majors. Nowadays, anybody who's having a diarrhea, you can go and have certain liquids, certain aqueous materials, hydrating materials, and we never heard nowadays with somebody who's dead because of diarrhea. Those are easily treated. So you can see that completely the ranking of the major causes are completely different 100 years back from nowadays. If we want to talk about the actual causes, we were talking about the major. Now we are going to talk about actual. The causes of death nowadays is you'll be surprised to know that it is inactivity and poor nutrition. I'm not talking about poor nutrition, about people who do not eat well, or those who are poor or poor people who cannot eat. I'm talking here about poor nutrition, that I'm talking about the people who do not know what to eat and how to eat and what are the quantities. So being inactive, you're not practicing any physical activities, and you are eating in a wrong manner, it comprises nowadays 18% of death, actual death in the United States. Number 2 goes for the tobacco, it goes 15%. It's dropping down to 3%. Alcohol, medical errors, toxic agents, microbial like viruses, diseases. Of course, I'm not talking about nowadays about the COVID, but the microbial problems, if you have a virus or a bacteria, the percentage of death is 2%. Firearms, we can see sometimes in the States, we can see many accidents, people are shooting each others, which is 1.5. But it was really, some people talk about the drugs. Drugs, if you are using the drugs, they compose less than 1% of death cases. So we need now to talk about number 1, which is 18%. Of course, this is almost 40. If you summarize all these numbers, we are not going to reach the 50%. The remaining numbers are, all of them are less than 1%. So today I'm going to focus mainly on the inactivity of a human being who's sitting only at his home. And I believe most of us, we have faced that during the COVID-19. Most of us, we were locked down at homes. Maybe you're moving only in 1 room or 2 rooms or 3 rooms. If you have a garden outside, you can go and walk. Nowadays, you have noticed that the temperature has started to increase and not many people can tolerate that. How to live in a good way or good lifestyle? According to the statistics, number 1 is the physical activity. Physical activity, I'm talking about sport, and I'm going to talk about, so I'm not talking about professional sport, but I'm going to talk to you what to do. Especially nowadays, we've been locked down for 2 or 3 months. No, I'm talking 2 months, yes, exactly. So being sedative, sitting most of the time, or sleeping at home, even if you are working at home, I don't call that physical activity at all. Because simply you are sitting on a seat and you are working on your computer, and I wonder if you are even sitting properly or wrong. I don't know what you are doing. Nowadays, there is something I'm going to show you, like with this mobile. This is my mobile. Many people, when they are working on their mobiles, they look down and they start working. Nowadays, we have a problem which is called which is called the COVID. We are calling it the texting neck. So text neck, it came from the word, while you are, I'm going to rotate this way, I'm tilting my head this way, and I'm looking at my mobile, and I will have many problems in my neck. They call it nowadays, this is what they call it even text neck, because you are writing down. So number 1, physical activity. Number 2, healthy eating. And number 3, managing stress. I believe managing stress is not that easy at all, because you always hear it when you go to a doctor or anybody. If you are having a problem, he will tell you, don't worry, you'll be fine. Just a couple of words. Of course, that's not a solution at all. لما يقول لك تلك الشم أمورك كلها ربكم حاول ما تعصب, try not to be, don't have any stress, try to avoid anxiety. This is just wording, but we need to know how to practice, how to manage stress. I'll start with the physical activity. If you ask the people, would you like to make any sport? There are people who start from the bottom. They tell you, no, I don't want to practice. I don't want to change. I'm happy and satisfied, and I want to keep it this way. Some people, when you talk to them about the physical activity, that's what we call it contemplation. They are thinking about it. Okay, I want to do some change. I want to move, but keep it for the next week. 1 month, I'm willing to start, but I didn't decide yet. Some people, this is what we call it a pyramid, like a ladder. You are going up. In the preparation, yes, you all took your decision to start. You will start, and some people, they are already practicing healthy lifestyles. The target of this lecture or this webinar or this talk, even chat, is to reach the maintenance level, which we are coming to have a look at it. What do you need to do? It's very important when you want to make any practice, you need to do something which you enjoy. I'm not asking you to go for a spinner for 100 meters and break the record of Ben Johnson, who make it in 9.8 seconds. Just move. What I'm asking you to do is to find something to enjoy. Maybe you are enjoying working in your garden. And it's very important not to start quickly. You are just starting up. Start gradually. Enjoy your work. If you are tired, if you start to work and practice, if you felt tired after 5 minutes on the first day, that's fine. That's enough. You don't need to do it. If you are, say, cyclist, you like to go on the bicycle, don't take or don't cycle on the same way, and the same road every day. That will be a routine work. So try to make a verification. Before you start, you need to warm up. If you start quickly, definitely that will cause some problems with the heart and the blood flow. Again, when you end with your practicing, cool down. I can see many people who go to the gym and they practice during their life. They start quickly without even stretching, and when they finish the last practice, simply they go to shower and go home. They change their clothes and go home. This is not a correct practice. You need to cool down during or after you finish your practice, and very important, make a commitment. That's why they tell you when you go to the gyms, they give you many options. You can do it 2 times per week, 3 times, or 4 times. This is one of the major issues in order that you can make a commitment. When you start practicing, according to the human nature, since we start in the schools, who gets the first grade? Who's the second? Who's the third in the class? This is very crucial. When you start and you want to say you haven't practiced any type of sport for 10 or 20 years, definitely you're starting up. Rule number 1, never ever compare yourself with others. Always compare yourself to yourself. You start, maybe in the first day, you are going to practice 5, 10, 15 minutes and you're tired. While you are seeing somebody who's next to you, who's going for a squat or he's doing a bench press for 100 or 120 kilograms. You will be depressed. No, not at all. First day, you are going to the gym. It's not a must to take it for 2 hours. Just do it for 10 or 15 minutes. After that, you may stop. Next time, when you go, you can maybe do it for 20 minutes. So compare yourself to yourself. Don't make it a harsh activity for you or a routine work. Always compare it to yourself. Physical activity should be a reward. What do I mean by a reward? I mean, if you practice for the first day for 15 minutes, after that you can do it for 20, you can practice for 20 minutes, that's an excellent achievement because you have progressed 5 more minutes. And within days, you are going to be improved and you're going to see what will happen. Many people, when they do practice, sometimes they try quickly to use weights. Let's talk about body shaping or bodybuilding. Many people, they try to go quickly. They do some pressing. They want to show off. They want to show their muscles in front of the people. That's fine. You try to carry something heavy. You will do it. You will carry it. But 1 day or 2 days after that, you will feel really pain. That pain is due mainly to certain injuries inside your muscles. This is due to excessive effort on your muscles. While you are, if you try to make a spin for, or if you want to try to go for a sprint for 100 meters, definitely after the 100 meters, you will feel all your muscles are contracting. This is due to the accumulation of what we call it lactic acid inside your body, which will go within 1 or 2 minutes when you sit down and you breathe and the oxygen goes with the flow. I'm talking about the pain when you try to carry something heavy 24 hours or 48 hours, you will feel pain, say, in your back. This is what we call it delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. This is due, of course, to the injury of your muscles. And this is an indication that what you have done is absolutely wrong. So in case you had an injury, there is a formula which we call it RICE. ما بتحدث عن الرز طبعا, but this is what we call it RICE. Each letter starts for a word. R stands for rest. If you have an injury, you need to rest. Why do you need to rest? Because you need to lower the flow of the blood in your body. Number 2, I. Put ice. The ice simply will prevent the swelling in your area. C goes for compression. You are compressing on the place of the injury in order to prevent the spreading of the swelling. The ice will prevent the swelling, while the C, when you compress, you prevent the spreading of the swelling. And finally, E, elevate. If you have injury in your hands, simply if you elevate it, simply the blood flow, you are minimizing the blood flow to the area of injury. So we have to keep it in mind. If you have, la samahallah, any injury, look for what we call it the RICE formula. Rest, ice, compression, and elevation. If you want to change yourself, especially for those people who haven't practiced since long time, any small change, a human being, usually the nature of a human being is against and change in general. If you are fine and satisfied with your life, that's fine. You are doing fine. So if you want to make change, don't do it promptly and quickly. Make just small changes. For an example, if you are talking about poor nutrition, again, I'm not talking about poor people who cannot afford food. I'm talking about the people who are having poor nutrition in their life. Say if you are a fan of McDonald's or Burger King and you are used to go there every day after finishing your work, make small change. Try to make it 1 day on, 1 day off. You will be used to that. After some time, you will see that yourself, you can do it 1 day on, 2 days off. That's what we call it a progress. You should reward yourself. You are happy. You are not going, say, for junk food every day. You are doing it, say, 1 day until you reach, say, you can take it once a week, and eventually you may stop that. Of course, I'm not against McDonald's or Burger King. This is just for an example of the junk food. I'm talking especially about the junk food, which is not good at all. So don't give up. Changing yourself is not easy. It is hard. But if you want to do it on the spot, it's not an easy job to do. You can make it, but do it slowly in order to change your behavior in general. I want to show you this slide. What happens when you are practicing? This is the red thing. These are the muscles, and this is the artery where the blood is going. You can see this is a relaxed muscle. This is a relaxed muscle. This is a vein where the blood is going in a relaxed human being who does not practice. Of course, inside the arteries, those of you with medical background, we have what we call it the valves, those الصمامات الموجودة داخل الشرايين. كلهم نفس مبدأ صمامات القلب. If you are practicing, this is contracted muscle. Look, the muscle will compress on the vein. This is someone who is practicing. When the muscle compress and make pressure on the vein, it helps the blood. It squeezes the blood to send it back again to the artery, to the heart to get the oxygen, and then it goes again. Artery goes back. This is the artery. It's making the circulation, goes back to the heart through the veins, and then the circle goes on. So if you are practicing, your muscles are compressing into your arteries and veins, which will lead to better flow of your body, of the blood inside your body, which is very good. If we look at the heart in general, this is a sketch of a normal heart. You can see here all the veins or the arteries, they are clean, they are open. We have over here, this is the muscle. If you have a strong muscle in your heart, the strong muscle will make good pumps. They will compress, or they will pressurize the blood they will compress on the blood to make a good flow. Say anybody who's having, la samahallah, a bad or problems in the heart, the muscle will be weak. ياما بنسمع القلب ضعيف عنده إياه. If your muscle is weak, it cannot compress well. ما تقدر تعطي ضغط للدم. ما تقدر تدفع الدم بقوة. Therefore, the heart, in order to compensate, it will pump more. It will beat more in order to pressurize or push the blood to the whole body in general. That will weaken the blood, the heart. تسمع قلبه ضعيف مش قادر يضخ دم. We need to reach what we call it strong, thick heart muscle. If you are having a strong heart, it means you are having good muscles. Somebody with the healthy heart may, just for an example, needs 50 beats per minute, while someone whose heart is very weak cannot compensate that weakness, and it needs to press more in order to reach our target. Over here, we can, I like just to show you an artery where you can see over here that this is the normal flow of the blood. If you accumulate fat, that will be very thick. It will squeeze the veins over here. Yeah, definitely. So the flow of the blood from inside, it will not be properly. And it is well known if the flow, if any blood was stagnant, if it stops, within seconds, we start what we call it the clot, الجلطات. So it's very important to keep all the veins all the time they are open, and we need to avoid what we call it the fat generation or the cholesterol generation. How is that can be done? The answer is physical activity and good nutrition. Good activity, of course, we have two types usually of fats. We have what we call it the high density lipoprotein, HDL. The high density lipoprotein, those are the good ones. We need them in our body in order to facilitate the function. The HDL, of course, you can get it from the nuts, peanuts, whatsoever. Of course, we have also the what we call the low density lipoprotein, which is the bad cholesterol and the bad fat. Those are usually built up in the body within the junk food. So if you remove the junk food from your menu in general, you are improving your health at all. Look over here, this is not healthy. This is not a healthy heart. Over here, we are expanding this image. You can see that there is a clot. الجلطة الموجودة داخل الشريان. Of course, if there is a clot, the blood flow will not go properly. You would see that this area's color is different than the other types. This area did not receive good supply of blood. Therefore, it is what we call it, it is dead. It is dead area. Your heart is working, but part of it is dead. This is what we call it sometimes myocardial infarction. بعض أنواع الجلطات بتؤدي إلى جلطة ولكنها تقضي على جزء من القلب وليس بالكامل. After that, the patient, of course, starts to go for the digoxin or lenoxin or the different medication that are used because you lost a good piece of your heart into pumping the blood around your body. So we need to compensate that. You cannot do it except with the help of medication. You can take المميعات, الكليكسان, aspirin, or whatsoever. If you are practicing physical activities, of course, the arteries will keep open because you are removing the fat from your arteries and veins, and the blood flow will be continuous at that time.
Professor, I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Shall we keep the questions, please, to the end, if you don't mind? Sorry, I'm not following up the chat. We shall keep the chatting question or answer to the end, if you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Not a question. The slides is not clear. The slides is not clear.
Sorry. Is it okay this way?
Yes, very good. Thank you. And I'm sorry again. I'm sorry again.
No, it's my fault actually. I hope it was clear in the previous. Samir, can you mute, please? I hope it was clear in the previous slides. Sorry, I was talking about the heart attack. How does it happen? I was talking about the arteries and veins when they have a clot inside. They are closed. Over here, you, as I said, Samir, can you mute the mics, please? I can hear some echo.
He's a professor. It is not me.
No, I know. I'm talking to the IT person. Sorry, my dear. Yeah, I know that. Okay, thank you, IT. Thank you, IT. Thank you, IT support. What about the cancer? Cancer, if you remember when we were talking about the major causes for death, I'm not talking about the actual, I'm talking about the major ones, is the cancer. Cancer, we can say it is the second leading cause of death around the world with the people. I am not going into details over that, but I'd like to share with you that the cancer, usually it's composed of, usually we have what we call it normal cells. Some of the cells starts to divide in abnormal way and they start to enlarge. That's what we call it, the abnormal cells. The other name which the people, they call it carcinoma. The problem with the cancer is that you don't, as a human being, you do not feel when those abnormal cells starts in your body. That's why they call it malignant, أو سموه سرطان الخبيث. They call it khabith or malignant simply because you don't know when it starts. And most of the people who were cured from the malignant diseases, most of them, they discovered that they have cancer by accident. Simply, they went for an X-ray or something, and the doctors saw that there is something wrong, and they identified or suspected that they are suffering from certain type of cancer, and they start dealing with them. The issue with the malignancy, or they call it metastasis, it means it is moving its place. Those abnormal cells, when they reach the blood flow, then you can say that the cancer is spreading in your body. But you don't know where it's going to land. So in the treatment of the cancer, it's very important to allocate where is the source of the cancer. Where did it start from? This is the main issue. If they could target, because sometimes it starts, you can get in the colon of the human being. Later on, you will see that it's moved from your colon. It's moved from your colon towards your lungs. You will have a disease, say lung disease, but the original, it starts, usually the original started from the colon area. So what does physical activity do with the cancer? I just go for simply for 4 types of cancer. If we are talking about the colon cancer, it's well known that if you are practicing physical activities, the movement of your bowels will be faster. And nowadays, unfortunately, most of the food we are eating, it contains many preservatives, many colorant material, many carcinogenic material even as well. So I always say to the people, if you can go back to the nature and if you can cook at your home, it's much better. While cooking at home, you know, at least you know what you are doing, but you don't know what are the restaurants that they are doing for you. So in the all of those bad materials which we are eating, of course, it will affect our body. But if you are practicing physical activities, the movement inside your body will be very quick. The movement of the bowels, so those materials which are inside your body will go out quickly. What about the ladies who are suffering from the breast cancer? If you are usually one of the major causes for the breast cancer is one of the female hormones, which is called estrogen. Those people who are adopted to what we call the physical activities will enrich the movement of the blood circulation, and it will definitely will not allow the exposure for the breast for a long time for the estrogen. Estrogen will be moving quickly and will help. Again, if we go down to the rectal again, physical practice will improve your bowel movements and it will remove all of these toxic materials from your body quickly. As for the male patients who are suffering from prostate, it's well known that those people who are practicing physical activities, they will tolerate even the treatment, whether physical or chemical, they will treat it much better. What about the back problems now and physical activities? I'm quite sure that many of us, we are now at home. We've spent 2 months locked at home, and many of us, we are suffering from lower back pain. Lower back pain, number one, it is due to the weakness of the lower back muscles, which are not supporting your body quickly, appropriately. Many people, they are facing, or many companies, they are affected with what we call it absenteeism. Absenteeism, it means that the employee is absent due to certain reason, and statistically speaking, I know some people get dizzy, get tired sometimes, they are sick, they are absent from their job and their work. But it was noted, statistically speaking, that lower back pain, it impacted the what we call absenteeism. And I don't mean you are fully absent from work. You may go work for 3, 4, 5 hours and you are suffering from pain. You need to go home. And that, of course, it's impacting the economy in general. So physical activity is very important in your life. It will make your joints, all of the joints of your body will be flexible with continuous movement. Your endurance, it means that you can, it will improve your stamina. You can go for 10, 20 kilometers after sometimes. What a beautiful scene when you are in a forest and you are walking instead of going onto your motorcycle. Just walk and enjoy your life. If you are obese, this is one of the major issues as well for death. Being obese will cause you too many problems. Imagine, even the cataract in your eyes, you may have cataract if you are obese. If you are overweight, cataract, المي البيضاء اللي بيحكوها باللغة العربية. You will have problems in your heart. I won't go into details what's going on, but you will have cancer even risks. You will have skin problems. You will have, for the ladies, say, gynecological problems. You are full with fat. Your liver will be, you'll maybe facing cirrhosis of your liver, تشمع الكبد. All of these issues are very important. What about your bones? Physical activity, I'm going to compare between somebody who's active and somebody who's sedentary. Sedentary means he's lazy and crazy. He's very lazy and doesn't want to work in active manner to improve himself. If we look at the bones of the human being, this is what we call it. You are in a good shape until anybody who's practicing physical activity, you are almost 76 years old. You will not face any problem at all with your bones. You're not suffering from osteoporosis or osteopenia as well. While someone who is not practicing every day, this is his bone mass. Look over here, say in his late 40s, he will start having problems in his bones. We always, of course, if we go to this level in the bone density, we are talking about fracturing of the bones themselves. We used to say, allow me to say it in the Arabic language, we used to say in the old days, when the medicine wasn't advanced, we used to say, المسكين وقع وبعد ما وقع بأسبوع زمان توفى. Of course, in the old days, we did not recognize that fracturing of the bones, some of the fractures may go inside your artery, one of your arteries, and eventually with the blood circulation in your blood and your body, within 1 week, it will make a clog, followed by clot, and eventually the death of a human being. So practicing in general, practicing and doing good sport. Scientifically, it will reduce your depression. It will reduce anxiety. You can sleep better. Many people ask me, or they suffer from bad dreams, nightmares. I hear many people telling me that we cannot continue 7 or 8 hours. And by the way, the healthy sleeping manner is that each person is to sleep 7 hours per day. In the old days, we used to say I'm talking about an adult, of course. In the old days, they were talking about 8 hours enough. Nowadays, the science has proved that 7 hours sleeping each day is quite enough. So many people, we can see that they may sleep at 10 or 11. After 3 to 4 hours, they will wake up, go back to sleep, wake up. That will really affect their day life, because if you didn't have enough rest at night, definitely you will have an issue. So the answer, if you cannot sleep well, go for practice. Practice your muscles, practice yourself. In addition to that, you will be surprised that the blood circulation inside even your brain, that will improve the blood circulation. It will reduce the depression and at the same time your self-esteem. You will definitely appreciate yourself if you are working well. However, if you are practicing, you need to be also very wise. This is a guy who's lazy, he's not practicing, his immune system will be at a moderate level. While those who are having or practicing physical activities, you will see that their immune system is going high. However, those people who are doing extreme sports, you will see a huge reduction in their immune system. I'm talking about very vigorous. I'm not talking about natural sports. I'm talking about those people who, for example, they take steroids, they take amphetamines, they take those drugs which improve the building up of the muscles. All of those people, eventually, when they stop taking those steroids, most of them, they will be suffering from.
Professor, that slide not clear, please.
Ah, sorry. Oh my God, what's happening? Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Please keep this note for me. If every time you see it, please let me know about it. So those people who are extremely active in sport and take steroids, you will see that there is a huge reduction in their immune system. This is, by the way, this is called the previous one. This is what we call it the J system, the J configuration. Alzheimer's disease as well. Alzheimer, it is due to lack of the blood flow inside the brain, and usually it's related to one of the amyloid proteins. But however, if you are practicing good physical activities, the blood circulation in your head, it will be much better, and you will avoid the slow motion, and you will prevent also the what we call the accumulation of the proteins inside your brain. Especially, I'm talking about amyloid beta protein, which may cause Alzheimer's disease. This is the physical activity pyramid. Many people, I'm talking about simple practices going to the maximum, which are weightlifting. If you are starting, this is a good start. Do anything. Just move your body. That will be an excellent start. Some people, they may go for extreme sports where they practice too much for that. They need too much muscle, fitness exercises to improve themselves. Of course, it depends on yourself. However, according to the pyramid, many people, you may go for golf, which is fine, good sport. And some people, they may go for weightlifting. Which one is the best? The answer is none of them will give you a comprehensive benefits. You need to enjoy your life. You need to do at least move yourself. The worst scenario, by if you go walking around your home or go walking in the street, that's the best. How much do you have to practice? Any practice you do is better than none. Which sports you need to practice? It is the one you need. This is a very small example, and you may find it sometimes even funny. What's the activity you produce while washing your face? If you think about it. The people with low fitness, they will feel light. They don't need much of effort. But with high performance, it's very light. You have that they okay, my God. Imagine even science has measured your effort while you are washing your face. Oh my God, Samir, what's happening? IT support. If you can, IT support, if you can help me with those pop-ups.
It's because some users clicking on the slide.
I see. Okay, so imagine the Science of Eden decided on the work that you need while you are washing your face. Imagine how science has been advanced. You may use this category to identify yourself. Nowadays, most of us, we have our own mobiles where you can measure how many steps you have done every day. Usually, anyone who makes less than 5,000 steps per day, this is considered to be sedentary. شخص خامل. You're not active at all. If you exceeded 12,000 steps per day, 12,500, then you are definitely an active person. You can use the mobiles in order to identify your steps and tell yourself and to track your record as well of what you are doing. This curve shows us this lady, say this sedentary person. She just sleeps, she just sits, she just go to car, working all day, walk back to car and go back home. Look at the energy she has consumed. We are talking at level 3. While if we are talking about, oh my.
Professor, slide مرة ثانية.
Thank you for that. Please keep, because I'm using here 2 screens, I cannot see the other one. So once it pops up, please let me know about it. Thanks to you so much for that. If you compare it to this person who's a laborer, he doesn't have his own car. He walks up, he walks to the bus, so he's working heavily as a laborer during daytime. He's consuming. Look at that sedentary lady. She consumed the 3. This is what we call it MAT units, metabolic units, and measuring your efforts. This person, look, he reached almost 5. And while this one who's doing jogging or running over the treadmill, imagine he went up to 6 for short duration of time. So which one is the one which is proper for you? You decide which is one. What can we do here in Dubai? For example, I believe most of us, when we go to, say, malls in general, we try to find or identify a place where we can park our car to the nearest area to the entrance or to the exit. I myself do it, actually, to be frank with you. However, this is a wrong practice. Usually when, for example, you are going a mall, try to park as far as possible. In order you are forced to walk. Try to go to the shopping area if it's nearby. Why not? Why don't you use a bicycle? If your school is near, I'm talking about teenagers, why don't you use your bicycle to go to your school, even to our work? But we feel sometimes shy. We cannot do or practice these things. While you are at work, try to do what we call work breaks. Take a short break, just to go for a round, just walk around your office, a couple of minutes. Don't use the elevator, use the stairs, work in your garden. Work in your garden. This is one of the best activities. And by the way, housework is an activity as well. It's an excellent one. Of course, I'm talking to the boys around and the men. إذا بتساعد زوجتك بالمطبخ اعتبرها رياضة، ما تعتبرها خوف, please. This is an excellent activity for yourself if you help your wife in the kitchen. طبعا مش بالطبخ لأنه بعرف معظم السيدات بتضايقوا لما أزواجهم يتدخلوا بعملية الطبخ. This is one of the techniques nowadays it's used. This man is working. Look at his desktop. This is his desk. This is his table. This is his laptop in front of him, and at the same time he's standing on a treadmill. What a beautiful technique, so that he can practice while he's at work, and he's at the same time he's working and practicing his own body. How can you identify that you are improving? How can you check your heart? As simple as possible, you have to check your heart rate every now and then, before practicing and after practicing. You may use the wrist. We call it the radial. You can check your pulse, or you can use the carotid vein. This is one of the major veins in the neck. You can put your fingers and check your pulse. You can feel it. Any of us, if you pull it, put your fingers over there, you can feel the pulse in your neck or in your wrist as well. How can you calculate your? Usually, you need to count it usually for 10 seconds. Check your pulse, count how many counts per 10 seconds, then multiply it by 6. 10 seconds by 6, it's 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. Or you can do it, some people, they do it, they check it for 15 seconds and multiply it by 4 to check their heart rate over 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. You will find yourself with time that your heart rate is going down, which is much better. Starting up, it may reach over 100, but later on, you will find that your heart rate is going down. If you are talking about the body and the function, if you look at the spine of the human being, there are too many vertebrae. فقرات معبية. We have 33 vertebrae inside your body. This is very important. The back pain, mojo, is a major complaint with most of the people around the world. Because if we look at those, usually you hear many people, they are suffering from the discs. The disc, it has nothing to do, by the way, with the bone. This is the disc. This is a normal disc separating 2 vertebrae in your back. With age, you can see that this disc will have some problems. It will degenerate. If it degenerates, it will start over here. Look, this is a beautiful nerve moving between the bones and the discs. If this one degenerates or starts to shrink, it will start going outward. Look over here, it will start pressing the nerve. Therefore, many people who are suffering from problems in the vertebrae of their necks, the pain will be felt in their shoulders in the beginning. You will start feeling pain over here. Although you start to do massages, you start to do many practices, but eventually the doctor will identify that your problem usually it's in the neck, which is causing problem in your shoulders, shoulder, deltoids, and even to your hands. Same applies to the lower back pain. If you are having problems in your lower back and you have certain discs, definitely it will squeeze the nerves and you will even feel it even if in your legs. When you sleep, I just tried to pick up a couple of pictures to show you what's going on. This is a normal sleeping. Look at the spine. Beautiful. While this guy, he liked to use 2 pillows because he wants to raise his head. Look at the movements of the orientation of the spine. This is usually a problem. Look at this guy. He's working over his laptop. Look at the angle of his head. By the way, this angle, if you put your head, tilt your head forward, it is averaged to be 27 kilograms of pressure over your neck. While if your head is stand still, that's the best situation. So therefore, if we look at the different procedures, people or different situations they are sitting, I'm sure that many of us, they were sitting that way. If you want to relax, if you cannot see well, over here, somebody who's waiting for a phone call or watching a movie on the laptop, this is the worst technique. If you want to identify the proper situation or position while you are working, as simple as possible, make sure that your ears are on the same level of your shoulder. Look at this lady. Look at this man. His ears level is at the same level of his shoulders. This is exactly the right situation. Other situation like this lady or this guy definitely will cause you certain issues in the future. They started with us with what we call the ergonomic situation. Ergonomic situation, this is a beautiful situation where a lady, she's working in front of a monitor, and definitely the eye is almost the same level of the laptop or the desktop, and it's minimum of 40 centimeters. I myself have checked that. I'm using now 50 centimeters distance between my eyes and the extended screen, which is available in front of me. About to finish, about stress factors, 75% of the people around the world, they are suffering from the stress. And I can tell you, 70 to 80% of your problems, of your body problems, it's from here. It's from your brain. Many times you used to hear, he had a fight, and then after that he had a stroke. I'm going to say another example in Arabic language. تسمع الشخص بيقول لك أجا السكري على زعله. زعل لسبب معين صابه سكري من وراه. All of this is very related to the blood circulation and your mood. Over here, 80% of our problems are over here. While 20%, I can tell that those are organic problems. If you are having stress, you're going to have certain times with severe cases, you may have strokes, جلطات. جهاز المناعة بينزل عندك, immune system. Insomnia, بصير معك بعض الأحيان هذيان ونسيان مع الإنسان. ممكن يصير معك قرحات, you may suffer from ulcers. And as well, you will accelerate your aging when you are under stress. All right. There are many direct effects or indirect effects, but what we are important here in well-being is how to deal with the stress. If you want to deal with the stress, you need to know the causes. And what does this cause? We can tell that in general, most of our problems are from outside, not from your own inside. Therefore, and it depends on how you look at the world and at the people. If you want to deal with the world in a proper way, you should have a good look at the people. Many people, they complain, that we had a problem with a certain person or ex-person simply because he misunderstood what I said. In such situation, I can tell you, don't be bothered. It's not your problems, because many people, when you mention many things to them, they explain it in their own way. This is a reflection of their side of what you are saying. This reflects their internal to the outside. So if anybody was angry with you because he misunderstood you, because due to his own explanation to the situation, I tell you, don't be bothered with that. It's his own problem. However, this depends on you looking properly to the world. إذا بدك تكون نظرتك للعالم صحيحة، لازم يكون نظرتك للداخل صحيحة. I mean, الإنسان يتصالح مع نفسه بالبداية قبل ما يتصالح مع الآخرين. كيف ممكن تصير أنت كلير من الداخل؟ كيف ممكن تكون نقي؟ كيف ممكن تكون صافي؟ The spirituals is not always praying. You need to reconcile with yourself. If you want to look properly to the people outside, as simple as possible, the answer is you need to love others in order you can love yourself. You need to reconcile yourself. Clear thoughts, good vision to the people, and always treat the people the same way you want them to treat you. If you treat them well and they treated you bad, don't bother, you are doing it properly. عامل الناس دائما مثل ما بحب الناس يعاملوك. This is the absolutely right. انظر للعالم نظرة بيضاء. Don't worry about the stresses, problems. If you have a problem, can you solve it? If yes, that's perfect. If you cannot solve it, why to be stressed? You already cannot solve it at all. This is the way you need to look at it. There are too many stressors in our life. In university, while you are a teenager, of course, I'm talking this statistics from the West. The people over here in our countries, you take care of your students, you take care of your children, and you pay for their fees. While in the West, this is not the story. They need to do it themselves, and they need to improve themselves. So they are worried. While if you are an adult, you will be worried about, say, family members, health of the people, prices are going up, I cannot afford buying a home. There are different stressors in the world. Usually when you are having a stress, usually the immunity of your body will go down. This is a normal level of immunity. If you face a problem, directly your immunity will go down. But with time, you will be coping with the problem and the stress. Your immunity will go back to normal and even improve. It will go back to the normal. This is the level of normal stress. When you face a problem, you are a shock, your immunity will go down. After that, you will be used a little bit, you'll go back to normal. But if you are kept under stress, definitely you will go down and fall. I don't know what will happen with you. Is it a stroke? Is it a heart attack? I have no idea at all. There is a very beautiful quote. If you are facing waves, you may not be able to smooth out the surf, but you can learn how to ride the waves. This is a very beautiful one. Last recommendations. I'm talking now to adults people. Play. Yes, play. I'm not talking, of course, about PlayStation or Nintendo at all. I need you to play with your children. Play with the people around you. You wouldn't believe what science wrote about playing and well-being. Every now and then, play with your son. Go down in the backyard, play football, play tennis, anything. Just make physical activity with your children. Again, I repeat, I'm not talking playing PlayStation. This is not playing at all. It's not considered to be playing issue and improve your body. So while you are playing, please make sure that you separate playing from your work. Don't practice any playing around while you are working. You need to separate between your life and your work life, and never ever feel guilty if you are playing around. This is a very beautiful, statistically speaking. You will be sleeping. This is just a simple diagram which shows you how you are doing during the daytime. And always in the stress management or dealing, try what we call it the ABC system. The ABC system, there are certain things in your life which you must be done. put it as a priority A. There are certain things which you must do, but not at the moment. You may delay it a little bit. While there are certain items which can be delayed for 1 or 2 or 3 months also. So during your day routine life, if you want to improve your life and you need to manage your things, please itemize your items. There are things which you need to do now. There are things which can be done tomorrow, and there are things which can be done next week. If you organize your things this way, you will have a successful day life and day habit. Now it's we are almost done, and we want to relax ourselves. There is what we call it the Jacobson Progressive Relaxation Method. What does this method do? And I'd like you please to practice it at the same time while I'm talking. Try to contract all the muscles of your body. Arms, chest, back, abdomen, legs, thighs. Try to contract all your body strongly. And then think about the muscles. Of course, when I want to say compress and stress on my hands, say on my biceps, I am thinking about it. Stress all your bodies, contract all your muscles from top to down. Then think about relaxing these muscles one by one, chest, abdomen, back. You will realize when you practice this thing with time that while you are working, there are certain muscles which you are pressing involuntarily over these muscles. You are contracting, sometimes you are working and you are contracting your muscles of your abdomen. When you are working, think about your muscles. Think about each single muscle. Is your abdomen relaxed, back, and very important issue, your shoulders. I'm sure many of us now, we are holding our mobiles or working on our laptops. This is not a good practice. While you are doing, think about the relaxation of your shoulders, and this is one of the major issues. Finally, what can you do? It's not just the playing. Many people think about the yoga that it is meditation. No, there are different levels of yogas. It's very beautiful to practice such things like the yoga, Tai Chi. Some people, they prefer to put some music and dance. These are the methods in order to remove the stress. We are all working under stress, especially nowadays. We are working remotely from home. Some of us cannot establish their esteem targets, so we are all under stress. You need to practice what we call it, the different activities. You are stuck at home now, try for some yoga. If you tell me you don't know what's the yoga or the Tai Chi, I believe you have YouTube at home on your computer. Just search it and you can look at any practicing with that. Keeping your mind and soul relaxed, that will help you a lot. So, wellness, as I said, it's a practice of your life. Now, you can judge your well-being. But if you want to have a good well-being of your lifestyle, you need to establish what we call it wellness in your life practice in general in order to reach what we call it the static well-being. I shall conclude by saying that wellness is the product of healthy lifestyle, just like fitness is the product of regular exercise. Finally, final advice, if you aren't currently active, it's not too late to start. Happy Ramadan, and I hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. Adi, for the informative session. And definitely we'll take all your advices into consideration. Actually, I tried to contract some of my muscles, but I'm not really active these days. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much. And thank you everybody for attending the webinar, for being with us. I would open now the Q&A session for those who have some questions. Definitely some parts of the presentation created some questions in our mind. So my colleague Asma will be controlling that. Asma, can you please start?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Prof. Adi. It was enjoyable and interesting session. Thank you so much for your informations. So as I mentioned on the chat, please, who have any question, raise your hand and I will give you the mic to ask your question.
I have a question, please.
Yeah, please, go ahead. Can we have your name, please?
My name, I'm Ahmed Samir. I'm a marketing professor and the Dean of College of Business in Sadat Academy in Egypt.
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Thank you for joining us, Professor.
I have to thank you for your very, very helpful session. It's the right time to hear your advices. It's amazing. But I have only one question.
Sure, go ahead.
Which time is better to have exercises, before breakfast or after in Ramadan?
In Ramadan, no, definitely I wouldn't say before iftar. Definitely after that, because the glucose level will be low in your body. Of course, you are not to practice directly after iftar. At least give it 2 times. But however, at the same time, practicing before going to sleep will initiate your body. You cannot go directly for sleep. So you need, Ramadan is a very special month. So if you go for iftar at 7 p.m., you can go practice at 9 p.m. But if you practice at 9 p.m. at the same time, you won't be, your body will be energized. You cannot go to sleep before maybe 4 or 5 hours. So Ramadan, it has special situation, but definitely I will not advise you to practice before iftar time. Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prof. Anyone else have any question, please?
I have a question.
Yeah, please go ahead. Can we have your name, please?
My name is Archana and I'm 15 years old and I really like the presentation. And I've never attended such a presentation before. I really liked it. And I felt it was really interesting and you really made it fun and interacting. And I've never attended a session like this before.
You are 15 years old? You are 15 years old?
Yes.
So I'll be waiting for you after 3 years in Hamdan bin Mohammed Smart University. What do you think? What about this deal?
Yes.
We will teach you all of these things in our school.
Okay. That will be nice.
Is it possible to know you are from which school?
Yes, I study in Gulf Indian High School.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, so my question was that I'm allergic to a lot of foods, but the only problem is I'm allergic to antihistamines as well. So if you'd have any advice for me, I'd really love it.
Yeah, unfortunately, if you are allergic to did you try the sensitivity test?
No.
You haven't tried that by scratching the skin. They do it, the dermatologists, they do it sometimes. However, if you are allergic to antihistamines, I'm really sorry to say it, but the cortisones is our solution.
Hydrocortisol.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I don't like it. So the best thing to deal is to be careful with the things which may cause you the allergy or the sensitivity and to avoid it. Because I don't like the hydrocortisons at all. You can go for the solucortisones in severe cases. Some people go for the tablets, while some people may go for injections in severe cases. But I do recommend you try to identify items which cause the allergy to you and to avoid it at all.
And could you please suggest a few tests as well, because I really don't know where to start from.
All right, you need to go actually to a dermatologist where there is what we call sensitivity test. They will make certain scratches on the skin. It's not, we call it scratches, but it's not scratches. They will identify, put certain tests. It's around 25 points. They do it on your hands. This is one of them. There are some people, they can identify it through blood tests. But most of them, they do the identification by scratching on your arm, and they make 25 points, and they can check it out and can tell you, say, don't eat banana, don't eat. They can identify their issues.
All right. I'm so sorry, but I have 2 more questions. I also have a bulged disc, so if you could recommend any exercises for that as well.
Excuse me, exercises for?
Bulged disc.
Ah, bulged disc. Have you tried to check with the chiropractic?
No.
Is it in the neck or is it in the lower back?
It's in the lower back.
I don't prefer to suggest anything because this is very sensitive. You need to go for an MRI, definitely.
I've done that and in Rashid Hospital, and I've noticed that it was, I think, L5.
Lumbar 5. And it's painful. You feel like a spark going down your legs, right?
Yes.
Yeah, unfortunately. Have you tried physiotherapy sessions? I wouldn't advise you from my side because I don't know the situation, but I do suggest you refer to a physiotherapist.
All right.
And be careful, don't practice by yourself. You need to be identified what to do through a physiotherapist.
All right, and I also have arthritis as well, juvenile arthritis. So I wanted to ask
So
you.
much.
You're
Okay.
doing.
Okay.
So I wanted to know if there's any cure for it, or I mean, will it be like this
Unfortunately,
forever?
unfortunately, this is not. This is something dealing with immunity. So the treatment of immunity goes for the cortisons, and unfortunately as well.
All right.
For the time being, I hope the
Thank you
future
so
will
much,
be
dear.
better.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for
Ramadan
attending
Kareem.
also. Thanks a lot. Ramadan Kareem, you too.
Look,
Anyone else have any question, please?
from Welcome International.
Yes, I have.
We cannot hear you properly. Yes. Again? Hello?
Anthony from Welcome International.
Your voice is not clear.
It's Anthony from Welcome International. I asked the question on the chat. Maybe you can read it out.
Just one question. I will read it.
About high blood pressure. When we profile people through wellness profiling in the UAE, we find that many people, more people have high blood pressure.
Excuse me, Anthony, can you use your headset? It seems you're using the external microphone because I cannot hear the question properly. Hello, Anthony.
Just one second, please. Let's check Anthony. Anthony, are you with us?
Yeah, I wrote it on the chat.
Yes. Can you? It's not.
Can you send the message in the chat again, or if you can just say it more clearly?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's better. Yes, go ahead.
So my question is,
Now it's better. Yes.
That was an excellent presentation. Welcome profiles people around the world using a psychometric software. And we find in the UAE that there's a lot of people relatively report high blood pressure. And I just wonder, from your perspective, why is it you think that the UAE has such an issue around blood pressure, and over the last 10 years it's been increasing?
Obesity.
Sorry?
As simple as possible, obesity.
Linked to high blood pressure?
Yes, it's one of the major issues over here, the obesity. This is causing severe high pressure with people. If I heard your question properly, actually, because the voice wasn't very clear to me.
It is. It's the question is, why do you think high blood pressure is so prevalent in?
Obesity. Yeah. The answer is obesity, and the people are many people they don't practice, unfortunately, their physical. This is the major issue. Number one, obesity. Number two, the people are sedative. They are not practicing well. This is the main issue for the high blood pressure over here. So if we want to treat the hyperpressure, simply we need to deal with obesity. And research is working over here in the United Arab Emirates, and there are many centers over here which are dealing now with obesity. And promising results, we are seeing promising results with that.
That's great. So with COVID-19.
Thank you so much, Anthony. You have any other question? Yes, go ahead.
Well, the only worry is that obesity.
Okay.
Yeah. The question is that with COVID-19, that obesity seems to drive higher death risks. So that's a concern, I guess. Is
it? Risk COVID-19. What about it? Excuse me.
There seems to be a link between the infection and death rates linked to obesity. So is that a big issue in the UAE?
No, it's not related at all, actually. Usually COVID, it might be linked in a way where the obesity may affect the blood circulation inside the human being. The blood circulation may not be as normal. This is due to the obesity. That could be a secondary reason for we can link it to the COVID, like the people when they tell you don't take cortisons. If you are taking cortisons, you may be infected with COVID-19, which is absolutely wrong. Simply when you are on cortisons, your immunity will go down, and you are going to be very susceptible to what we call it any infection, including COVID-19. And by the way, the numbers are very acceptable over here in the United Arab Emirates, but simply the numbers are increasing nowadays because the comprehensive survey is going all around the country, and some cases, new cases are discovered every now and then, but the numbers are not spreading. the Ministry of Health and Prevention and the authorities over here, they are really doing an excellent job regarding the controlling of COVID-19.
That's great.
Thank you. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you so much, Anthony. Thank you. Yes, who's next, please?
Yeah, can I? May I?
Anyone have? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we have your name, please?
Yes, my name is Mrs. Sharada. I'm working in Gulf Indian High School. Assalamu alaikum. And I'm really thankful to Professor and this university for giving us a very excellent chance to know a lot about this COVID and how to take care of this well-being at the right time. My one request is, now children are glued to system, and I'm working in a school. We can very well understand, we always say stay home, stay safe, kind of slogan is preached around. And so, and sometimes some parents, they share only single apartment and there is no much movement here and there. So would it be good if Professor gives one webinar for the children of the school, how to stay safe and how to stay healthy and how to take care of their well-being? It would be a very interesting thing. It would be very helpful, especially for the students community, Professor.
Thank you. Very well noted. I believe Mrs. Ragad and Mrs. Asma have taken this into consideration.
Yeah, we noted, Prof. I will.
It's a very beautiful point. Let's do something for them.
Sure.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you, Madam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear. Thanks. Anyone else have any more questions?
We need to do something rather than webinar. We should have something when the COVID-19 comes to an end. We should do it in our auditorium in Hamdan bin Muhammad Smart University. I like to see people actually face to face when I talk to them more than the computer.
And hopefully this COVID-19.
Yeah. We'll try to make it one day in the auditorium.
Yes. Hi. Yes. Hi. Walaikum salam. Can we have your name, please?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed Mahari. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Yeah, hi.
A very good evening to you.
Yeah, how are you? So proud. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you, dear.
Please, I'm sorry. I have a question about yesterday's presentation. I didn't receive a certificate from you for yesterday's presentation or meeting.
Actually, I mentioned it on our chat that the certificates, as soon as they are ready within the next week, it will be sent to all the participants, either for yesterday or for today's sessions.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prof.
Welcome. Thank you so much.
Asma, I need my certificate as well. Asma, sure. I need a certificate myself.
You deserve a badge. You deserve a badge, Prof. You give us certificates.
For
Asma, do we have
anyone else?
More questions?
I'm checking. Anyone else have any question, please?
Yeah. My name is Ginwa.
Please, can we have your name, please?
Ginwa Masri.
Your name? Ginwa Masri. أهلين.
أهلا فيك. بس حبيت أعرف عن ibuprofen بالكوفيد 19.
شكله يا ستي اكسكيوز مي يبدو التلفزيون مضوي جنب حضرتك لانه بعطي ايكو. Hello?
Yes, hello.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, I was wondering if it's true that ibuprofen will help people get more prone to infect with COVID-19.
Absolutely wrong.
Okay.
Absolutely wrong.
Okay, because
I saw it on the media, on the social media, which is absolutely, this is not scientific at all. The concept after that was that the ibuprofen is similar to the aspirin, اللي هو يعتبر مميع للدم. In case you were infected with the COVID-19, you are not allowed to take ibuprofen, you are not allowed to take aspirin or any anticoagulant. But as a normal human being, for us, we are not infected. It will not do any harm at all, and it will not increase your liability to be infected with COVID-19. Absolutely wrong. However, I repeat, if you are already infected with COVID-19, those all what we call it non-steroidal anti-inflammatory, which are the Profen, Celebrex, Vioxx, aspirin. No, aspirin is a different category. We are not allowed to use them because if you use them, it will accelerate the spread of COVID-19 inside your body. But as a healthy person, go ahead, please.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Thank you for your clarification. My last question is about vitamin D. since we are home, we're not too exposed so much for sunlight. And I have a kid at home also 2 years old. Do we need to take supplement for vitamin D?
Don't ever take a supplement of anything unless you make a blood test. If your blood test is clear, I don't mean clear, the levels are within the average, don't take any supplements or vitamins or minerals at all. This is my personal recommendation.
Okay, thank you so much, doctor. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor. Thank you, Anwar. Anyone else have any question, please?
الو
Hello.
بروفيسور السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام، يا هلا. It seems في شغل
معك نادية.
اهلا وسهلا، بس it seems الصبايا برضه انفصل الخط معهم. انا سامعك لا كلير. جو اهيد يا ستي، تفضلي.
تفضلي. مين معنا؟ نادي ابو ظبي الرياضي.
اميت اهلا وسهلا فيك. هيك بدنا ناس رياضيين. يلا.
عندي سؤال لأنه أنا أعاني. قبل أول شيء حابة أشكرك على السيشن، كانت وايد حلوة.
ثانك يو.
بالنسبة لي استفدت وأنا الجوال طبعا أسمع، ما أقدر يعني كثير أشوف.
شهادة على صدري. شهادة على صدري هاي.
تسلم. عندي كثير تدمع عيني كثير من الإضاءات، خاصة الإضاءة الصفراء، وأحاول كثير إني أتجنب الإضاءات خاصة اللابتوبس، وأحاول إني أنزلها كثير. بلس أنا عندي سؤال الأكثر أهمية، أن عندي ارتكارية ظهرت عندي في النك. حاولت كثير أبحث وأسأل الدكاترة اللي راجعتهم، قالوا لي ممكن يكون وراثة وممكن يكون نمط غذائي.
exactly. بدي أحكي
يعني ممكن يكون نوع من أنواع الديابيتس، يعني بداية نوع من أنواع الديابيتس.
No, I disagree with that. I totally disagree with that. خليني أحكي لك عن الرقم الأول. في يبدو جنب حضرتك تلفزيون أو إشي لأنه عم بعطي إيكو. هيك منيح. سامعيني حضرتك؟ Can you hear me?
تمام. Please all attendees close the mics.
Samir, IT, can you please mute all the mics? Except mine, of course. Alright, يا ستي أسمع الصوت واضح أنا هلا؟ أسمع رغم. ثانك يو. يا ستي بالنسبة لتدميع العين ديفنتلي هذا عبارة عن إجهاد العين. ديفنتلي قدام الكمبيوترز لازم نحط اللينسز. في طبعا في بعض الكمبيوترات سكرينز بتمنع الراديشن هاي، بس إذا ما مش موجودين هذول ممكن الواحد يستخدم في نظارات خصوصية. بهاي الحالة حالة الإجهاد أنا دائما بنصح الناس يستخدموا الريفرش تيرز على أساس التدميع، على اساس تريح العين ما يصير فيه، لانه عمليه الدمع هي عباره عن رياكشن. العين ارهقت فبلشت تعمل افرازات، صار فيها جفاف، بلشت الافرازات الزياده. فالحل انك اليو في لانسز زائد اضافه للريفرش تيرز. اما بالنسبه للارتكاريا اللي موجود، الارتكاريا هذا ديفنتلي الحل الوحيد لها ناوديز، لانه هي عباره عن اوتو اميون سيستم. زي ما حكيتي حضرتك ممكن يكون اكل معين، بس عاده اذا في عندك من اكل معين الارتكاريا بتصير مش فقط منطقه واحده، تصير باكثر من منطقه بالجسم. اذا منطقه واحده موجوده عاده الارتكاريا as simple as possible ممكن تستخدمي لها الدرموفيت كريم، او اذا كانت سيفير تستخدمي لها الدرموفيت اوينتمنت لمده اسبوع زمان، ان شاء الله الامور كلها بتكون محلوله عندك يعني.
Thank you everyone. Thank you for your question. وعليكم السلام.
معك دكتورة شهلة من العراق.
يا ميت اهلا وسهلا باهل
اهلا وسهلا فيك.
الله يخليك يا رب، الله يخليك يا عزيزي. عندي 3 أسئلة بس يعني سريعة.
أمرك.
شكرا
أول،
كثير.
أنا من الناس اللي إذا مرضت بيحبوا النوم. أعتقد
لحد معين، يعني اكثر من 7 ساعات نوم بالليل. طبعا ممكن الواحد ينام العصريات، اما كثره النوم بالعكس تعمل خمول. يعني احنا بنسميها الناب افتر، بعد الظهر، القيلوله هاي نص ساعه زمان اتس فاين. اما الواحد ينام بعد الظهر 2 و3 بالعكس كل الجسم بيصيبه خمول.
بس أنا يعني أحس إنه أنا أتعافى عن النوم. السؤال الثاني، يعني نقص الكوفيد يهاجم مثلا كريات الدم، هل إذا واحد يتناول الفوليك أسيد على طول يكون عنده شوية مناعة من الكوفيد؟
ولا له علاقة نهائيا بالموضوع، مع كل احترام، ولا له علاقة نهائيا. الفوليك أسيد ما له علاقة. الاميونيتي ممكن فيها، أنا بفضل إذا واحد بده يحسن المناعة عنده، يستخدم في بعض أنواع الأعشاب اللي هلا درجة حاليا في، بعرفش إذا سمعتي فيها حضرتك، الإكينيشيا تابلتس روعة. مع هدول أخذ دراسات عمالة بتعطي نتائج ممتازة. بس أنا دائما بحكي الإنسان إذا كانت مناعته والفيتامينات بالفحص الطبي انه اموره تمام. تعرف حضرتك ما بعرف اذا دكتوره طب بشري ولا لا، لانه عاده الاميونيتي بنقدر نفحصها بالمختبر بالاميونوجلوبولينز IgE IgM و different types of immunoglobulins. if they were fine according باللابوراتوري تيست ما في داعي نهائيا الواحد يستخدم اي شيء.
لا أنا دكتورة إدارة أعمال، بس عندي مستويات بالضغط الدم، كان عندي ستريس عالي، بس حاليا يعني النورمال مالتي كله واطي، السكر، الدم، الضغط كله واطي.
يعني مقبول ولا واطي عن الحد يعني الضغط قديش عند حضرتك؟
لا فقر فقر خلقة، يعني منذ الولادة.
اوكي سلامتك.
السؤال الأخير مال التعرض للشمس.
يس.
أيضا من أجل الوقاية من الكورونا، أي ساعات تكون الشمس مفيدة؟
الشمس بتكون مفيدة يا ستي قبل الساعة 10 وبعد الساعة 3 أو الساعة 4 حسب إذا الصيف أو الشتاء، حسب ساعة الغروب. لأنه عادة إذا وقت الظهريات الساعة 12 ولا 1 تيجينا إحنا اليو في اي، إحنا بدنا عادة اليو في اي، بس خلال ساعة الظهريات بتيجينا اليو في اي واليو في بي اللي هي بتحرق. إحنا بدنا عادة اليو في اي، فعادة قبل الساعة 10 صباحا أو بعد الساعة 3 بعد الظهر. قبل 10 صباحا وبعد الساعة 3 بعد الظهر.
شكرا جزيلا، تسلم.
شكرا دكتورة.
السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم
ممتازة المحاضرة.
Assalamu alaikum everyone.
Excuse me, you will be the last one who have a question. If anyone have any more question, you can send it on my email and I will forward it. Hello? Can you hear us? Yes, just one second, please. I was telling to all the attendees, if you have any more questions, because I believe that we need to close our session, you can send it on my email and I will forward it to Prof. Hadi and he will answer all your questions and email, please.
Ms. Asma, can you please just share your email? Please write it down. I don't know if you have done that.
Yes, Prof, I did it.
Thank you so much.
Last question. Yes, who is there? Please?
Yes, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, please.
Yes, this is Arshi from Dubai. Actually,
Nice.
now, we are having the online teaching, and more time is spent on the screen, right? The screen time is increased, and because of that, I am feeling that I'm having persistent pain in the head. So headache is there, persistent headache is there. So is there any exercise or something that you can tell us to relax our eyes and something that can help us to survive in this situation?
Actually, most of these things usually because you are focusing too much, and this is normal. When you are focusing too much over here, you will start feeling it over here. By the way, is the pain in the back or in the front?
It's at the back side only.
Backside on. This is you need to check. Yeah. So this is not it has nothing to do with the sinus. As long as it's with the back. How's your eyesight, by the way? Are you using glasses?
Absolutely no, not yet. Alhamdulillah.
By the way, I have tried too many chairs in my life. Do you know which one which made me really comfortable? This is the one I'm sitting on now. Do you know which one is this one?
No. Okay, fine.
No,
I can see that. Yeah.
No. Could you tell which one is this one?
The cushioned one, right? Medicated? No.
No. I tried the medicated. No, it's not the cushioned one as well. This is the chair that children use. It. This is what they call it, a PC gaming chair.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. I bought too many chairs, by the way, on personal basis because I'm working too much here at home. And it's the one which made me comfortable is this one, the gaming PC, gaming chair. I really felt very comfortable with it. I've been talking for more than 2 hours. I'm very comfortable now, and I'm enjoying my tea as well.
Hello, good evening.
A very good evening to you.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. And yourself?
Yeah, I am Imad Dugem. I have no question, but I would like to thank you very much for this informative and wonderful topics.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate it.
I really thank you. I'm really missing you.
So much.
Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you very much. You bye.
Thank you a lot. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Dr. Prof. Hadi. Thank you all.